everyone. First of all, thank you for having me in this stage and thank you for coming to today's conversation. My name is Songha Han and I'm from South Korea. Also, I'm currently a sophomore at university majoring in international relations. The reason why I'm standing here is that I hope all of you have the time to be familiar with the unfamiliarity. In general, the words familiarity and unfamiliarity do not come together. But I do believe that if you break that traditional frame, you may have the time or opportunity to dream itself in your life. So before beginning, I would like to clarify the definition of the history. Sometimes the word history comes to our mind too seriously, and it has so many information to remember everything. So from now on, I would like to consider history as a story. Since story has various topics such as fiction, journals, even romance, whatever, we can imagine our own history when we think about history as a story. So I hope all of you think about your own story in your life and even your dream in your entire life. So before I came to America, I was dreaming about being a part of international affairs. I was dreaming about participating in the United Nations and contribute to other people to make a better society. To pursue my dream, I've done so many things, such as attending the Model United Nations conferences to expand my dream further. Everything I've done was really valuable, but at the same time, I hit the wall in expanding my dream further beyond a certain point. Especially in the field of international relations, it is really necessary to interact different people from different cultural background and also interact with other people and share our opinions. But just staying in Korea, there was a limit to do everything I want. So after that, I started to dream about studying abroad, especially in America. At this point, I would like to ask a question all of you. Have you ever thought about moving to different countries or trying totally new things you've never done before? If yes, weren't you nervous or worried about challenging or even failing through that change? Maybe it's natural to fear every new things in our life because we have no enough data and even no experience about that change. For me, no experience in America was really made me feel hesitate to make up my mind clearly. At this point, I would like to say that being ready doesn't always mean being perfect. Before I decided to study abroad, I was fully ready to study abroad. I was in high school to learn English and a little bit German, and my parents supported me a lot to study abroad. But one thing I wasn't sure of myself was that my mindset. I had no experience, so in my opinion, I thought that I wasn't perfect. I had too high expectations to myself, and that made me hesitate to determine everything to study. So if some of you have too high expectations in your action or in your dream, I would recommend to lower that expectations and just think about your dream by yourself. And instead of being perfect, we need to be ready to be perfect. We never know if we don't take action. And we never know whether we'll succeed or fail if we don't put into action. So, if you want to be perfect in your life or about your dream, you need to start your step and you need to begin whatever you want. Once again, all perfection really wants you to put into action. It really wants you to take action about to pursue and to achieve your dream goal. Back to my story. After I realized this fact, I stopped concerning about my future and thought about why I wanted to study abroad and what was my dream. After that thought, I started to get confidence about my dream. I gained a lot of confidence to communicate with others and just move the environment surrounding me. And finally, I decided to study abroad at TEDxDrew right now. As I was concerned about, I face lots of difficulties in here and still struggling with so many differences from different environment. But through that difficulties, I learned how to overcome my fear from no experience. I broke my fear and I overcame the challenges from that fear. In the very beginning of this speech, I said that let's take history as a story. Looking at my story as a book, because I challenged so many things in my life, I have so many different chapters with different people, different situations, or even trial and error. So let's think about you're writing your own book about your life. If you try only one thing in your life, you can have only one chapter in your life book, and it's gonna be really simple. But on the other hand, if you challenge what you've never done before, and if you overcome that fear, you can have more chapters in your book, and it's gonna be thicker. Not only about your book, but about your own life. I hope all of you have more experience, more different experience to spread your dream further and further. Our history absolutely begins from challenges. What we challenge will change our life and will break our fear in our entire life. So if you're hesitating to leave your own environment or your home country or try something totally new, just go for it. Please do not hesitate. What you're hesitating about is exactly what will make you to change. I hope all of you have the time to be familiar with your unfamiliarity and hope to have confidence to bear any challenges about your dream. Thank you.